Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. Today, continuing my 2021 year-end top 10s, rolling into 2022 here at the 122-pound Super Bantamweight division. We're going to be discussing my number 3 fighter at 122, the former champion, Brandon Figueroa, as he dropped. So let me see what his positioning was last year. I believe Figueroa was around number 5 or 6 last year, so he moves up a couple spots. So Figueroa entering the year was coming off of a 2020 where he only fought once. He shook off some rust and got a stoppage win over a little-known fighter in September. And he was pushing for a big fight. Luis Neri won on the same card in September of 2020, and immediately a showdown was being talked between the two. Now, Figueroa was the WBA regular champion, and Luis Neri was the WBC champion. So the two decided to lock horns in May, but the WBA would strip Figueroa of the WBA regular belt after the fight. But during the fight, Figueroa and Neri ended up being a war. These two guys went at it. It was a fun one, and Figueroa just kept pressing forward. Honestly, I thought he was getting beat on the cards, but it was close. But his size and just his will, the way he kept coming at Neri, and finally he hit him with a body shot in the 7th round and put him down for good and captured the WBC Super Bantamweight title. Now, after the WBA stripped him of the WBA regular belt because he went on to win a championship in another governing body, but he got the huge opportunity to challenge against undefeated Stephen Fulton Jr. and unify belts. And that fight got postponed due to COVID for Figueroa, but they ended up locking horns in November. And it ended up being a great fight. One of the best fights of the year between these two guys. They went at it. And it really, like I said, it became it became a pick your poison type fight. They went toe-to-toe, 12 rounds. At the end of, and when the smoke cleared, Stephen Fulton Jr. would hand Brandon Figueroa his first defeat by a close 12-round majority decision, and Stephen Fulton would unify the belts. Figueroa was really not happy. He thought he got robbed, but to be honest, it was I've been saying it was a pick your poison type fight. What do you consider to be the more telling, in a fight that scores rounds, that wins rounds? Is it the harder, cleaner punches that Stephen Fulton was landing? Or is it the culmination of punches, the more punches thrown, the more punches landed, the guy coming forward, which all 3 of those were Brandon Figueroa. But he was getting hit with the cleaner shots by Stephen Fulton. It was close. It was a fight you could have called either way, and I wouldn't have had a problem if Figueroa walked away the winner, but he would lose. Now, after the fight, he was pissed. He was, really bitching about the decision. And Stephen Fulton said, hey, let's do a rematch. And Brandon Figueroa, though, prior to the fight, had started making noise that he was going to be moving up to 126. We knew that was going to happen eventually because Brandon Figueroa is a big guy at 122. But I think Figueroa should fight Stephen Fulton again, leave no doubt, and leave the option open for undisputed before he decides to move up. But I really don't think that's what he's going to do. I think he's moving up to 126 in his next fight. There's fights there to be made. There's Leo Santa Cruz. There's Magsayo and Gary Russell fighting for the WBC title. There's Ray Vargas. There's other fights, other options, maybe more money options up at 126. But I don't feel comfortable. I think he should try to avenge his loss to Stephen Fulton. But it is what it is. But Brandon Figueroa, let's look at his stats real quick. He's got nothing to hang his head about. He lost to a great fighter. He's only 24 years old. Really, he's only 24. That was his first defeat. He's now 22-1-1 with 17 knockouts. So Brandon Figueroa is going to be able to move up and do some damage in a weight class that's more suitable to his body. And maybe that's the best choice for him. So it's either revenge against Stephen Fulton or he's moving to 126. But that's what I got on the former champion at 122, Brandon Figueroa, after his 2021. He is my number 3 Super Bantamweight for my 2021 year-end top 10. the 10's heading into 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.